Hello everyone, so today we'll be going through a potential 2020 election prediction between Joe Biden, the former vice president under Barack Obama, and Donald Trump, the current incumbent president. So we'll be going through this potential 2020 matchup. Now, important to note, Joe Biden has come under fire a lot recently because of the recent allegations of a woman in Nevada as well as a woman in Connecticut. So that's definitely something to note. But anyway, we'll be going through a 2020 election prediction between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii all move into the safe Joe Biden column. Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, the District of Columbia all move in to the Joe Biden column, along with the state of New York and the state of Illinois and Maine's 1st Congressional District. So these states would all be safe for the former vice president, the former senator from Delaware. So yes, and the former two-time presidential candidate, this would be his third time running. He's ran in 1988 or 92. Yeah, no, it was 1988. 2008, and now likely going to run again in 2020. So now let's go through the safe states for Trump. So Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, most of Nebraska, Kansas, Louisiana, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. Texas I would move into the safe column for Trump given the Biden candidacy. Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Indiana. So 163 electoral votes safe in the Trump column, 183 for the former vice president. So we'll be going through a bit different way that we'll be normally doing it. We'll do Virginia, we'll start off in Florida actually. We'll go Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia. Then we'll go up through Maine, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania. Then we'll go down to Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, move up into Nebraska's 2nd District, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Ohio. So let's start off in the state of Florida. I see Donald Trump narrowly edging this one out. Now, even though the former vice president was on the ticket with Barack Obama, in both 2008 and 2012, I think in the current environment in Florida, I don't see the former vice president and the former senator actually picking up the state of Florida. Again, this state has seemed to be getting more conservative year by year. In the 2018 midterms, which were again a blue wave year, Democrats did not win in Florida. It was one of their most disappointing losses, and one of the Republicans, one of their biggest gains. Florida moves into the Trump column. That puts Trump above Joe Biden. We're going to keep going down in the South. So the state of Georgia I also see narrowly moving into the Trump column. I think it would be very close given how Joe Biden is very close to the Obama administration. There's a lot of love for the Obama administration among African Americans in the state of Georgia, and I see Donald Trump, but I still think that Trump would still narrowly edge Biden out in Georgia. I see the same thing happening in the state of North Carolina. I see it being very close, but even Obama wasn't able to pick this one up in 2012. He lost to Mitt Romney in this state, and I see North Carolina moving into the Donald Trump column. State of Virginia. This one's going to get somewhat interesting given the scandals that have plagued Democratic politics in Virginia recently, but I still see Joe Biden edging Trump out by about 8 percentage points. So I don't think it would necessarily, by about 4 or 5 percentage points, not 7 or 8 yet, but 4 or 5 percentage points. Biden edging out Trump in the state of Virginia. In the state of Maine, I see this one the 2nd congressional district, that one would move into the Trump column in a leaning margin, but then Maine at large would continue to be in the Democratic column. Now, in New Hampshire, this one's very likely to go to Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders in the primaries, and I think that there would not be much love for Joe Biden in the state of New Hampshire, given that his strongest primary opponent likely would be Senator Bernie Sanders. So I think that there still might be some hate for Biden in New Hampshire, given the home state factor with Vermont. But at the end of the day, I still think that Joe Biden would carry the state of New Hampshire by a narrow margin, about 2 percentage points. So let's take a look at where we are. Joe Biden trying to play catch up here. 202 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 224. So let's go ahead and look at the state of Pennsylvania. So this one's very interesting in that it's Joe Biden's home state, along with the state of Delaware. And so for that reason alone, I'm going to move it into the Joe Biden column. I don't think it would necessarily be all that difficult for him to do that. Now, in Ohio, some people argue that Biden can win here given its proximity to Pennsylvania. I don't think that Joe Biden can win here. I think he's too establishmenty with the Democrats in order to be able to be a progressive champion and win in Ohio. I think that the Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders would do well in Ohio. I think that Elizabeth Warren would be competitive in Ohio. But I don't think that some of these Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Kirsten Gillibrand, Cory Booker, Beto O'Rourke, I don't think that they would do as well in the state of Ohio. So next we're going to go all the way out to Nevada. Now this one, there was a recent poll that I just recorded a video covering that showed Joe Biden as the only candidate who would theoretically beat Donald Trump in Nevada. But I'm not buying that for 1 second. Because in 2016 and in 2018, the polls both suggested that Republicans would win statewide, but Democrats actually won statewide. There are countless other examples of Democrats outperforming polling in Nevada. I still see Joe Biden easily dispatching in Nevada in a likely margin. So next we're going to go over to Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and then up into Nebraska second. Then we're going to go Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and finish off in the state of Michigan. So, state of Arizona, again, I think that Joe Biden is, I think that he could do quite well in Arizona for a Democrat, but I still think with the conservative nature of the state, I still think that Donald Trump would edge him out in the state of Arizona. New Mexico does not need much reasoning at all now. They elected many Democrats statewide. I would be actually very, very shocked if Biden won by less than 10%, but I'm still going to put it in the likely column about 14 to 15 percentage points in favor of the vice president. So, state of Colorado, I also see that one going towards Joe Biden. Just to summarize, you may think, oh, well, these states are the same. Nevada is much more conservative than New Mexico. But the thing is that this likely column encompasses 5 to 15 percentage point wins. So in Nevada, I would say that it's about 5 percentage points. New Mexico, I would say it's 14, 15 percentage points. Then Colorado is kind of in the middle of that range, about 10 percentage points. A win for the former vice president. I see Joe Biden winning in the state of Colorado. So, going into the final stretch in the Midwest, 242 for the former vice president, 253 for Donald J. Trump. So we're going to go into the 2nd district of Nebraska. I see, this one would actually all go to Donald Trump, with the 2nd congressional district going to him by a leaning margin. So Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. That's the order we're going to go in it. Okay, so Iowa. I see Trump winning here. I don't think it would necessarily be all that difficult for him to do that. But one thing to mention is that Trump's approval rating is not great in Iowa, not great at all. But I think that it would rebound before the general election. I don't think that Joe Biden would be able to appeal to the Iowa voters. State of Minnesota, I see this one going to the former vice president. I don't think it would be all that difficult for him to win Minnesota, given that even Hillary Clinton was able to win in that state. And then Wisconsin and Michigan, I see both of these states, Joe Biden narrowly winning both of those states, given how Hillary Clinton was able to win the state anyway. And so I see Joe Biden narrowly. Sorry, Hillary Clinton was not able to win the state. Sorry, I messed up my wording there. But I think that Joe Biden would be just a slightly better candidate in the Midwest than the former Secretary of State. So that's it for today's video, guys. Joe Biden winning 278 in a very competitive election. 278 for Biden, 260 for Donald Trump. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down your suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.